Hello everybody, welcome back to the West Ham career mode, and spoilers, if you haven't seen the last episode, go and watch it. FA Cup winners, yes, we are secured a place in the Europa League next season because we beat Liverpool on penalties in the FA Cup, and absolutely brilliant. It also means that this episode, with the last two games of the season against Newcastle and Leeds, are pretty much a dead rubber. We're in a Europa Conference League spot at the moment in the league. We're unlikely to get the Europa League spot from the league, and it doesn't matter anyway because we're already in the Europa League. So we're going to use the games against Newcastle and Leeds just to try a few things. I've tweaked the sliders a little bit to maybe make the CPU teams more aggressive or more attacking. We should see them be a little bit quicker in attack and a little bit quicker with the ball, moving the ball as they did. Still playing on the authentic sliders, but just tweaking it so their build-up play is a little bit quicker as well, which is good. And we can use the opportunity. Oh, and I've put handballs on as well because I realised I didn't have handballs on. So we've got handballs on for everything, penalties and free kicks. They're both on for all of that as well. So let me know your thoughts about the gameplay. Do you think it's better when we dive into these two games? We still can't make an offer for Joshua Zirkzee, so we're going to have to wait until the season's over for that to happen. But generally, we're doing all right. As you can see, everybody is pretty much complacent because we won the FA Cup. So yeah, this could be interesting. But we're going to mix the lineup up a bit. Zirkzee's going to come off. We're going to start Piatek. We're going to start Gomez. He did score the winning penalty in the FA Cup final, so that is deserved. We're going to start Pontes. We're going to give Soriano another run out there in attacking midfield. We're going to go with a Hackney and Potts central midfield partnership, which is a little bit rare. And we're going to dress Igor for Mavropanos in there as well. No one, I think, on the bench. Maybe Fernandez. We'll give Fernandez a run on the bench. You can come in for Zirkzee. Zirkzee's tired, so we will go with... In fact, let's do Diouf for Skulls. Let's start the youngster in there as well. Right, let's get into the game. The first one of the episode is Newcastle. And here we go at St James's Park as it's Visser to get the game underway. Joe Willock is going to play that out wide to Anthony Gordon, who you can see, yeah, so they've got... What I was doing some research online, and it turned out that if you up the computer's acceleration and sprint speed by about 3, then it changes basically the whole dynamic of the game. They take more shots because they get into positions a little bit quicker. So we're going to give it a go. That's a terrible pass from Gomez there. But yeah, so let me know what you think, and we'll be back with any sort of like meaningful highlights in the game, of which there'll be hopefully a few more as Trippier comes forward, swings across into the box. Visser gets there with a good header. Well, a good leap, but the header's pretty poor. Giles down the line, picks out Gomez in a lot of space. He's got Piatek running into a good area. Piatek on the volley, hits the post. His left-footed volley just cannons off the side of the post. Oh, and both teams with good opportunities in this first start to the first half as Scarl's header falls to Bruno Guimaraes, who picks out Joe Willock. He looks up to Visser. Visser, good challenge from Mavropanos, and lots of these players are playing for their future in this West Ham team and in the Newcastle team as well, because you'd imagine there's going to be busy summers in the Premier League. That's a good ball over the top to find Scarles in a bit of space. Scarles saw the run of Piatek, but his low cross was intercepted well by Kieran Trippier. Lewis Hall swings in across towards the back post, headed away by Scarles, and Mario Soriano did well to just touch that one off before the defender got to him. Soriano's there again, but just caught on it. Mario Soriano, whatever you want to call him, hasn't really, since he's had that homesickness complaint and his morale has never got above unhappy, he's officially submitted a transfer request now as well. So I do think if we get an offer from a Spanish club, he will be probably out the door to allow him to move back home, because the unhappiness in morale does affect their stats and their attributes. So we do need to be wary of that, as Mario, there he is again, just pushed off the ball really easily. And Newcastle look to attack with Anthony Gordon, who is a good little player, Anthony Gordon. I was one of the people that scoffed when they paid so much money as they did. Oh, hello. Oh, my word. From Everton for him. That's going to go out for a throw, that one. But yeah, he's actually looked pretty good at Newcastle, hasn't he? Here is Joe Willock in central midfield for Newcastle. Finds Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes out to Joe Willock again. Oh, he was winding up a shot, and Hackney just put him off enough so that he whiffed on it. And Mario Soriano comes forward, and Lewis Hall was coming towards me and then tracked that really well. Pontes couldn't get on the end of it. Willock beats Potts in the air as Bruno Guimaraes finds Wisser. Wisser out to Murphy, who's had a very good season for Newcastle, by the way, in this universe. That's a good ball through to Wisser. First time shot And it's a good safe hands from Hermansen, who looks to get West Ham underway early doors, but is headed back, and Wan-Bissaka will pick that one up. Up it goes to Hackney, into Piatek, who's dropped a little bit deeper. Here is Pontes. Pontes, oh, good tackle from Lewis Miley Hall, I think it is. And Anthony Gordon will come away again. Ah, Wan-Bissaka, what a challenge that was on Anthony Gordon. And he's got the ball back from Piatek as well. Anthony Gordon is no slouch, though, with his speed. Wan-Bissaka's pass is intercepted. And, yeah, we're just not creating these opportunities enough, as the referee gives a free kick for that. Never a free kick. Pontes definitely got the ball. Great ball through. Wissa running through the middle. Tries to get a shot off with the Trivela. Hermansen with a really good save again. And of course, as we get to the end of the season, it'll be interesting to know, West Ham fans and supporters of the series, who is your player of the season for this year? And they will get immunity from transfers. They will not be sold unless, you know, we get like a ridiculously stupid bid for them. But let me know down below. Obviously, some good contenders is Xerxes, Piatek have both come in and scored goals. Hermansen in goal has been absolutely superb for us as well. NDIA maybe, probably not though, as Gomez tries to dink that one over Dan Burn. That's quite a challenge to dink a ball over Dan Burn. He's about 8 foot tall. But yeah, as I was saying, get in the comment section. Let me know who you think the player of the season should be for West Ham. I think there are a good number of contenders we can get. I mean, Jared Bowen is our top goal scorer and top assist maker in the squad in all competitions. Hermansen has had a really good season. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's been really good, and Hermansen showing there why he's had a really good season. Another superb save, this time with his feet. We haven't seen him do too many of those saves. That was David De Gea-esque, wasn't it? But it was very nice indeed, as Hackney goes up towards Mario, just waiting for a bit more movement. Nothing really on. Hackney comes forward with it. Out it goes to Pontes. Tries to dink in across towards Piatek. Header towards goal, but it's pretty weak and easy for Nick Pope. Oh, lovely overlapping run from Kieran Trippier. Ball into the box. Wan-Bissaka above Anthony Gordon. Wissa on the shot. It will be a corner for Newcastle. The AI definitely, or the CPU, they're not AI. They don't learn. The CPU definitely taking more and more shots with these new these little slight tweak to the sliders, which is good to see. Definitely getting into some more advanced positions, as Sandro Tonali on the edge of the box. He's going to try and get a shot off as well. Potts blocks it well, and Gomez can launch a counter-attack here because Piatek has space in front of him. Little step over, trying to make some moves, and that's a really bad pass from Christopher Piatek. The chance is wasted, and Newcastle clear their lines. Good header from Scarles to get that one forward. Gomez holds it up. Piatek puts it in to Mario on the volley. Oh, it's curling just wide, and that will be half-time. 0-0 at St James's Park. So into the second half here in the north of England. The weather is lovely. We could have done with this weather at Wembley, probably for a better game in the FA Cup final. It was a bit of a slog in the rain, that one, as Gomez comes forward. Mario just drops off and gives him some space, then picks out a good pass to find youngster Potts. Undecided what to do with Potts next year, to loan him out or potentially keep him around the first team. Pontes looks to dink that one into a bit of space, overhit, and Kieran Trippier clears it away. Hackney, good ball forward to find Pontes, and Pontes puts it into Piatek. First time shot, great save from Nick Pope, and Gomez just tried to get that back into the danger area, and it's a really good save there from Nick Pope, showing off his England credentials to try and get back into Thomas Tuchel's squad for upcoming World Cup at the end of this season. But yeah, that was a really good save from Nick Pope. Good football down the right-hand side from Wan-Bissaka and Pontes, as we made that chance, but we couldn't really do anything with it. Bruno Guimaraes is just closed out well by Potts there, as Mario picks up the ball. Hackney finds it up to Pontes. Pontes goes back into Hayden Hackney under pressure from Bruno Guimaraes, I think that is there. Pontes gets it back. Hayden Hackney, Piatek round the corner into the young Brazilian. Pontes is just offside. So changes for both teams as Anthony Elanga comes on for Murphy on the right-hand side. There was also another change there, which I think was Joe Willock coming off for Joe Linton. But I'll confirm that one as, yeah, Elanga on for Murphy. And it was Willock off for, Ramsey. They've brought on Ramsey. I don't know which Ramsey that would be. Is that Jacob Ramsey that they signed from Villa? Potentially. But and then we've brought on Mateus Fernandez on for Mario Soriano. But that is a handball free kick in a very dangerous position here. And yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. Now, the ref POV I don't mind too much. That's not too immersion breaking because they do have the body cam on the referee. But this is a dangerous free kick here for Newcastle. Trippier and Gordon over it. And Gordon leaves it for Trippier. Oh, my word. What a goal. Kieran Trippier has just scored an absolute worldie of a free kick. His second goal of the season. He puts the Newcastle fans into rapture, and that is why I like handballs being on, because we've missed out on a good number of free kicks. But Kieran Trippier, that is absolutely unreal. 25 metres out. He's actually curled it round the wall into the top corner. Hermansen, absolutely no chance. What a goal. And that is his last involvement in the game, as Eddie Howe decides to change both fullbacks. Livramento coming on, and I'm not too sure who would replace Kieran Trippier at right back in this Newcastle squad. But that has happened, and we've given the ball away straight away, but Elanga was kind enough to give it back as Trippier was replaced by Fabian Schär is coming on. As Potts just holds this one up well. Wan-Bissaka does find Hayden Hackney. And Hayden Hackney's got Pontes giving him a run out wide. Swings in across, looking into the danger area. Piatek trying to get up for the header, and did get the connection. But again, similar to Visser in the first half, not a strong connection on it, as Scarles puts that one out to Pontes. In towards Matheus Fernandes. Just couldn't get the space to wriggle away from his man. And Bruno Guimaraes brings this one forward for Newcastle. Wan-Bissaka challenging there with Gordon. And is this... who's this a free kick to? Is this another Newcastle? It's another Newcastle free kick in a dangerous position, as Dan Burn is replaced by Sven Botman. And this time Gordon leaves it for Tonali. And with Trippier off the pitch, it makes our lives a lot easier. But yeah, more free kicks being given because of the handballs, which is very nice to see. Oh, this is a good bit of play, this, from West Ham. Let's go, lads. Pontes is in. Pontes, he's got Matheus Fernandes up there, and Sven Botman just off the bench for Dan Burn. Really good defending from the Dutchman. And Newcastle look like they're going to hang on to this one with 20 minutes to go. We might have to call for some first-team reinforcements off the bench here. That's a lovely ball to find Anthony Elanga. Anthony Elanga's in, swings it in towards that back post. Great header from Wan-Bissaka. Referee's played advantage, which means we would have got a handball foul there if we had played on. What a turn from Piatek that is. And Pontes is in again. And Pontes is having a really good game. It's just his end product is letting him down. And there it is again on display. The young Brazilian called up from the academy, just letting himself down in the final third as Anthony Gordon comes down this left-hand side. He's chased by Todibo. Swings in a cross. It's a really good cross, and it was a late challenge from Todibo. Free kick to Newcastle. Substitutions for West Ham then, as triple substitutions. Paqueta comes on, Diouf comes on, and NDI comes on as well. But it is a free kick to Newcastle that we've got to defend here. That is wildly hit to the back post. It's sort of a crossing game from Newcastle as Hermansen came, got nowhere near it. And the referee has given a goal kick. It's gone out for a goal kick. For a minute there, I thought it was a penalty against Wan-Bissaka. Piatek holds it up, looks for Pontes again and finds him on the right-hand side. Pontes this time doesn't put a cross in and takes his time to try and find the right pass. Lovely back heel to find Fernandes, who then runs into Livramento. Can't make it work, although Fernandes has won the ball back here. Can swing it into a dangerous area. Header from Piatek. Nick Pope stood tall and did well with his hands to cleanly catch that one. And tries to get Newcastle on the attack again. It's that wonderful free kick, which is the difference at the moment, that Kieran Trippier fired into the top corner, giving Hermansen absolutely no chance as Ramsey fires that one low. Visser! Oh, it just bobbles across the front of goal. 13 minutes to go. It's still 1-0 Newcastle United. Diouf, great ball up the line to find NDI. NDI, great turn to cut back. In it goes looking for Matheus Fernandes, but couldn't quite get that final pass. And the final third play from West Ham, they've been really good up till then, and Visser's used his pace to accelerate away from Mavropanos, and Visser's still going, and that's 2-0 Newcastle. Visser with superb pace to get away from the slower defenders, which is much more realistic, because he would run away from Mavropanos like that. And that is a superb finish from Visser there. It's a really good run, powerful run. Todibo tries to put him off, and Hermansen's beaten. 2-0 Newcastle. Wan-Bissaka into Pontes. Really well read by Sven Botman again, and really is our final third play in this game is what's let us down. Wan-Bissaka gives that away to Anthony Gordon. Good header there from Todibo. Fernandes has just been robbed, and I do feel like this is a bit, it's definitely tougher with the AI or the CPU being a little bit more quicker to the ball in certain places, but I do feel like we've also rested and rotated players, so our weaker players are playing, which will definitely make a difference. And I like the fact that Visser could run away from Mavropanos there, because that's more realistic. In previous games, Mavropanos would have been able to catch him up quite easily. That's a really good tackle from Potts as Piatek comes forward with it. Just touches that off into the path of Paqueta. Referee, that's a horrendous tackle. He said play on because it's fallen to Pontes, but surely a yellow card there coming for Livramento. Fernandez. Paqueta out to Pontes again. Paqueta into Piatek. Good foot in though from Sven Botman. He's played really well since coming on as we enter the final minute of this one. And Anthony Gordon looks up towards Visser. Ramsey out to Bruno Gumales, into Visser again, who's got that all-important second goal as Ramsey comes forward into the box, round his man. I think the challenge from Todibo put him off, and it is a yellow card for Livramento. Piatek, great header down. It's now or never for West Ham as Mateus Fernandez gives the ball away. And that is full time, 2-0 to Newcastle. West Ham probably complacent after the FA Cup final win, but celebrations were had, hangovers were probably there. So a disappointing result, but let me know what you think about the sliders. Maybe the acceleration and the pace is up a little bit too much. We could potentially look to adapt it. You could have contributed more. Well, work harder. You're already annoyed, so I might as well tell you to work harder. But we'll keep the same sliders against Leeds and see how we get on and go from there. But yeah, one game left to go. Get your player of the season nominations in below in the comment section, and we'll go through that at the start of the next season probably, because I want to crack on getting these videos out to you daily whilst I can. I've got a 4-week holiday coming up, or trip coming up for work and for leisure, and so there's going to be a period with no videos, so I want to keep these going and get these done as soon as possible. But we'll see how this goes, as Fabianski love to be involved in a last home game so I get a chance to say goodbye to our fans. It's what you deserve. Fabianski will be our starting goalkeeper in the game against Leeds. So for the final time in the Premier League season, we head to East London, to the Olympic London Stadium, where West Ham United are taking on Leeds in today's big game. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to West Ham United v Leeds. I really need some water. My voice is going. We'll be back for the lineup. So in what will hopefully be a well-mannered and well-played-out final league game of the season, West Ham have already confirmed Europa League football next year. And heading into the final game of the season, it is the 4-4-1-1 formation. Lucas Fabianski gets a game, his first appearance of the season, his farewell game as he retires after this one. It's Joshua Zirkzee and Jared Bowen. It's the strongest lineup possible to play, other than Fabianski being in goal. Leeds United aren't being as emotional as West Ham in this one. Coming away for the final game of the season, it's Lucas Perry in goal, Struijk and Rodon at the back. Stach is the holding man in midfield, with Brendan Harrison, Lucas Nemecha and Ano Tanaka playing in midfield. And a striking partnership and three that should cause some troubles. And Leeds got a famous win against West Ham earlier on in the season, with 3 goals coming from set pieces. Let's see if they can be as deadly as that again today. Here is Dan James early on, and well, Fabianski's not called into action there as Dan James just fires past. But Lucas Nemecha and Dan James both showing their pace early on in this game, and that is going to be trouble for West Ham if they can't control that. Here is Joshua Zirkzee. That's a lovely ball out wide to find Louis Guilherme, who's had a great season for the Hammers. Jared Bowen twists, turns, tries to get a shot off. Can't get enough curl on it and won't trouble Lucas Perry with that one. Wan-Bissaka finds Hayden Hackney in central midfield. Jared Bowen did give him a run, but the pass was just delayed and Brendan Aronson could get an easy interception as John McGinn comes forward for Leeds United. Into Sam Byram. He's been robbed by Guilherme, who great reverse pass to find Jared Bowen. Zirkzee holds it up, back into Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen's through, in off the underside of the bar. What a finish from Captain Bowen. And he has had a superb season for this West Ham team. His 19th goal of the season. What an output he has had. He has loved playing in that attacking midfield role, especially linking up with Zirkzee and Piatek. And he just took this one in his stride, curled it past Perry. Wonderful finish into the top corner. It's 1-0 West Ham, and these fans look like they're going to be sent off with a very good performance today. Lucas Nemecha puts into John McGinn! And straight away, after West Ham score, Leeds go up the other end and get an equaliser. John McGinn, signed from Aston Villa in January, gets a goal for Leeds United in this one. Really good hold-up play from Nemecha. Just picked out 1-2 there. McGinn ran off the back. I think that's off Potts, I think. I'm not too sure. Sorry, Hayden Hackney. But yeah, lovely little half volley there from John McGinn. And Fabianski's not going to get the clean sheet he dreamed of on his farewell game. Paqueta holds it up. Diouf goes beyond him and Paqueta picks him out really well. Diouf there cuts it back, and Pascal Struijk with a really good interception and clearance to just make sure that Leeds can hold on to this draw at the moment. Diouf is there, tries to feed it through to Xerxes but can't. And James Justin will overrun that one. Xerxes picks up the ball again into Jared Bowen outside of the left foot. Easy for Perry though. Luis Guilherme, lovely reverse pass to Hackney into Bowen. Twist and turns. Bowen again, left footed drive, deflected. Well saved Perry. He stood tall until the deflection and made sure he went the right way. And Leeds looked to break with John McGinn, but Luis Guilherme, good tackle. But Brendan Aronson's there on the backup for John McGinn to win it back. Lucas Nemecha. John McGinn again comes forward. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's matching him stride for stride with pace. Great cross in, and Igor will head that behind for a corner. 20 minutes gone. It's been an entertaining last game of the Premier League season, that's for sure. Cross comes in towards the back post. Hackney heads it away. Joshua Xerxes pretty isolated up there on his own at the moment. Holds it up. That's a really nice pass to find Iliman Ndiaye. Iliman Ndiaye just trying to tease the defenders in, and he's got Joshua Xerxes giving him a good run in front. Joshua Xerxes turns. Still going Xerxes. Can he hold on to the ball? No. Just showed too much of it to the defender. Luis Guilherme into Joshua Xerxes. Great hold-up play from Joshua Xerxes to release Luis Guilherme again. And on the edge of the box is Hackney. He's got Jared Bowen in plenty of space in the area. Bowen just couldn't turn and get the shot off Xerxes. Into Luis Guilherme. Shot from a tight angle. He's hit the bar. He's hit the bar and it's going to bounce out for a goal kick. Wan-Bissaka invited forward after that pass from Luis Guilherme. Just tried to knock that one back and didn't work. Hayden Hackney's put in a good challenge though to win it again. Guilherme into Xerxes. Xerxes just holds this one up, trying to tease the defenders in. No one's falling for it. West Ham recycle possession. Here is Paqueta. Could definitely be off in the summer if he gets his way. NDI. Great crossfield pass. Didn't quite... has found Luis Guilherme, but it's a handball there as the ball hits him and he gets an advantage. He was about to go past Sam Byram. Paqueta picks out Luis Guilherme with a lovely pass, and Guilherme puts that one in towards Bowen. Oh, he went for the spectacular. It is the end of the season. Why not try something special? Wan-Bissaka in towards Xerxes. Tries to flick it on, but it gets caught under his feet, and Tanaka picks up the loose ball. He goes wide towards Dan James, who has been classic Dan James in this game. All pace and no final product. Aronson under pressure. Statch gets the ball off to Tanaka. Referee says play on with that foul from Jared Bowen. Anton Statch goes back to Joe Roden. That's a good ball out to McGinn, who scored the equaliser for Leeds. As Brendan Aronson now comes forward, showing a good bit of pace into Nemecha. Really good ball round the corner to John McGinn again. Cross in towards the back post, but Wan-Bissaka will be confident about winning that cross every day against Dan James. And Tanaka does very well there to show strength against Joshua Xerxes. And Brendan Aronson has shown some unbelievable control. Pass over hit though, Fabianski out well. Hayden Hackney releases Luis Guilherme. Luis Guilherme in towards Jared Bowen. Flicked on one more towards Joshua Xerxes, but James Justin covers. And it's good defending from Leeds. I feel like we're flowing quite well in this game as Sam Byram under pressure here from Joshua Xerxes. Does well, the defender, to be fair. Luis Guilherme finds Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen back to Guilherme, who's not been very well marked there. Puts it into a dangerous area. Lucas Perry claims it, and that will probably see us through to half-time, as there's only 2 minutes to go in this first half. Although that's a dangerous pass that Joshua Xerxes definitely could have got on the end on Leeds. Playing a dangerous game here in their own box. And eventually Perry clears it. And that is half-time, 1-1. So final game of the season, the final second half of the season, and a host of changes at half-time for West Ham as Piatek replaces Xerxes. In fact, let me just show you the team. It'll be much easier to do it that way. Piatek on, Fernandez on, Potts on, Pontes on. So changes for a number of our players that played very well in that first half. But yeah, I want to give run-outs to people on the last day of the season. So opportunities for Fernandez, Piatek, Potts, and Pontes on the right-hand side as well to see what we can do as Brendan Aronson comes forward. Great tackle there from Potts. He's done well. Fabianski, his clearance is blocked by Dan James. And it's going to fall to Tanaka on the edge of the area. In it goes towards Nemecha. Great challenge from Wan-Bissaka, and he pokes it away up to Piatek, who does very well to win his header. And NDI, I haven't called him NDIA in ages, was trying to pick out Pontes with the pass, but can't do it. Dan James showing that pace again, and as I said in the first half, he's shown all pace and a lack of end product. That's a better cross, but still Igor wins the header over the attacker. as NDI comes forward, just overruns that one a little bit. Igor's encouraging Diouf to get forward, and that's a wonderful ball over the top to pick him out. Diouf, first time pass inside to Iliman Ndiaye. Just trying to twist and turn and create some space, but Leeds back there defending well. Dan James again down this right-hand side. Cuts back this time and actually cuts in field of Diouf well. Nemecha gets around his man the wrong side. Igor back at him. And the referee has allowed that to happen because the shot was taken. Fabianski not troubled from that tight angle. And at the moment, 1-1 is probably a fair reflection of the game. I think Leeds have used their pace they've got in the squad well, but haven't really caused that much trouble to West Ham. As Diouf strides forward from the back. Paqueta, that's a lovely ball through to find Fernandez-Struijk with a really good challenge, as I thought Fernandez was going to be through then. But James Justin will bring this one away. Up to Dan James again. Wouldn't surprise me if Dan James is substituted soon. He's been up and down that flank non-stop, as that's covered well by Igor at the back. Piatek looks out towards Di. First time in towards Lucas Paqueta, who's onside. Lucas Paqueta! 2-1 West Ham. He may be off in the summer, but he's still giving his all at the moment. His 4th goal of the season in his 38th appearance. And who knows, he may be saying farewell. Made captain as Jared Bowen was taken off at half-time. And Lucas Paqueta gives the Hammers a 2-1 lead on the final day of the season. Sam Byram's in behind here. Tanaka with a shot. Yes, Fabianski. That'll draw a loud cheer from the crowd as the veteran goalkeeper makes the save. And can just get his foot behind this one and try and flick it up. It was actually meant for NDI, but Piatek couldn't quite win the header as Aronson lays it back to Anton Stach. Anton Stach comes forward with it into Dan James. Dan James holding this one up. Really good ball to find James Justin, who's pushed on from fullback. Cross in, Fabianski's there again. Really good goalkeeping, and he's not happy just to settle with that, wanting to get his team on the attack early, but his throw was not as accurate as he would like, and Fabianski, another diving save. Oh, it's been superb from Lucas Fabianski today. Couldn't do much about the goal he conceded, but since then he's been very good at making saves and holding on to the ball. Oh, Dan James has robbed the ball off Malaki Diouf. He's into the box. I can't catch him with his pace, and eventually he has some final third product. That was absolutely shocking from me with Diouf. I tried to do some sort of weird back pass to the centre-back. I'll show you the replay. It's horrendous. Well, you can't really see it, but yeah, I tried to do like a back heel into Igor and just completely got it wrong. And Dan James fires Leeds an equaliser. 2-2. Poor old Fabianski. I feel bad for him. So in all that action with the celebrations of the goal, Leeds did bring on Noah Okafor to replace Nemecha up front. We haven't made any more subs. We'll probably leave the squad as it is to get through this game, as James Justin makes Iliman Ndiaye look like a bit of a tit. But Anton Stach has the ball in central midfield, comes forward with it. That's a good run, and Aronson has managed to get round that challenge there of Todibo. That's a decent ball through, but Fabianski's out to claim it ahead of Noah Okafor. And good goalkeeping from the veteran. Piatek holds it up well, finds Fernandez. Fernandez looks to find NDI, who did stay onside. Back into Fernandez, try to flick it on one more to Piatek, but couldn't find the gap. And Okafor's... Oh, the referee's going to give a free kick against me for handball. Unbelievable. Said we weren't going to make any more subs, but we'll give Gomis a run out. He's got a little soft spot in my squad now, scoring the winning penalty in the FA Cup final. But he will come on to replace NDI for the final 9 minutes of this game in the Premier League. The final 9 minutes of the Premier League season. And I'm really looking forward to the summer transfer window and seeing what we can do there. And obviously trying to keep it realistic in terms of players we've got. We are going to be in the Europa League, which will allow us to attract a significantly better standard of player, you would imagine, for the club, as Piatek tries to poke that one through, and Mateus Fernandez couldn't quite get on the end of it. Dan James still on the pitch, still running down this right-hand side, showing lots and lots of pace. And yeah, remember to let me know player of the season and what you think of these sliders. I think maybe I could tone the pace down. Oh, Dan James is in again, and he's won it for Leeds. Surely, as I'm talking about sliders, the thing I like about these sliders is it makes players that are quick, like Dan James, use their speed better. We saw it with Newcastle for Visser, and it worked in our favour as well. Like Wan-Bissaka can outpace John McGinn, which is true to real life. Dan James has used his pace to get into really good positions, and score 2 after I insulted him. I'm not too sure how he kicks that with his left foot through his right foot. Well done, EA. But yeah, it's 3-2 leads. The youth, great ball down the line to find Gomis. Gomis can lay it inside, looking for Piatek, slides in. Perry out bravely with the big striker sliding in into his chest. But yeah, it's good work. That's really good work from Fernandez there. Fernandez comes forward with it, not got too many options. Tries to cut it back towards the edge of the area, but read by Tanaka. And that will surely be the game, as Leeds are going to get what could be a vital win. I think they had a chance of survival on the last day. We'll have to wait and see. Dan James using his pace against Igor. Swings in a good cross into a dangerous area. Wan-Bissaka's there. It falls to Noah Rockefeller. Potts clears it. And that is full time. West Ham United 2, Leeds United 3. Let's go and review the end of the season. So the league finishes. Everything is done and dusted. Let's go and have a look to see what the league table looks like. Nottingham Forest have snuck into the Champions League by 2 points. The winners of the league are Liverpool, 3 points clear of Arsenal, who finished second again. Man City third with 74 points. Nottingham Forest finished fourth with 72. Chelsea up there with 70 points. Newcastle get the Conference League spot at 65 points. We finish on 63 points in seventh, which is a really good season. Really good. Obviously, we lost the last 2 games of the season, but we'll have to wait and see how we feel about that. Villa in 8th, Man United in 9th, Fulham in 10th, Spurs in 11th, Brentford 12th, Crystal Palace 13th, Everton 14th, Bournemouth 15th, Brighton 16th, Burnley survive on 38 points in 17th. So going down, Leeds United, they had nothing to play for. They were 9 points off safety even with that win, and they finish on 29 points. Wolves finish on 29 points, and Sunderland finish on 29 points. So, yeah, 3 teams going down. Leeds, Wolves and Sunderland. Burnley hold on for another season in the Premier League. Coming up from the Championship, Ipswich win it with 99 points, although I've got a feeling they might still have games to go in the have they still got games to go? Or is that it done? No, that is it done. So, I think, does that mean Ipswich didn't win a game since the last time I checked the league table? Because I'm pretty sure they're on 99 points anyway. Sheffield United got up with 97. Leicester go into the playoffs with 95. They're joined by Hull, Southampton and Coventry up there. Birmingham miss out by 2 points from the playoffs. Down at the other end of the table in the Championship, Wrexham survive by 10 points. Wednesday, Oxford and Charlton Athletic all drop down to League One. So quick flick around the leagues in Europe. PSG win the French League by 4 points ahead of Monaco. Marseille finishing the Champions League, finishing third. Olympique Lyonnais in fourth. In the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich win the league by 6 points over Leipzig, with Borussia Dortmund and Leverkusen finishing in the Champions League spots. Serie A is won by Juventus, 5 points clear of AC Milan. Inter Milan and AS Roma go to the Champions League as well. And in Spain, Barcelona win the league comfortably over Atletico Madrid. Villarreal in third and Real Madrid all the way down in fourth. That will not be looking good for Xavi Alonso at Real Madrid. But that is the end of the season. We do have an offer for Kyle Walker-Peters. They have offered us a swap deal. Mateus Vecino, who is 34. I absolutely don't want to do that, but for some reason, it's gone to the assistant manager again. Why can't I now do offers or sort out offers for Kyle Walker-Peters? That is confusing me somewhat. That is very much confusing me. Yeah, don't know. Not too sure what's happening about that one. But, yeah, let's go and have a look to see what Jared Bowen's got to say for himself as well about the end of the season. Look, I know you have your reasons for making your decisions game, but what was that all about, subbing me off? Mate, it was, I need you fit every week. Just chill, Jared, chill. Last game of the season. Yeah, we've looked at the Kyle Walker-Peters offer. If we end up with Vecino, we'll just sell him straight away because I don't want him. Not fussed about the manager market, and we've been given 159 million for finishing in, what, 7th in the Premier League, which is absolutely incredible. More importantly, can we now make an offer for Joshua Zirkzee now that the league season's finished? Let's go and have a look. I could have just gone the other way, I've realised. But Joshua Zirkzee, no, we can't. I think we have to wait until his loan deal expires. Right, we will be back for the start of next season. I'll be doing some transfers offline and we'll go through them in the next video. And then we'll have, obviously, the start of the season and the remaining part of the transfer window with deadline day and everything like that. But that What a season that was. 7th position for West Ham. We do get a trophy parade because we won the FA Cup. So the streets of London, of East London, will be sublime. It'll be brilliant. What a party it would be for West Ham to win the FA Cup. Absolutely superb. It's just brilliant. What a season. 7th place and an FA Cup win. I think West Ham fans would be delighted with that in real life. We've come in. We've replaced Graham Potter at the start of the season. We've put a little bit of a touch on this squad. I think this summer will see us really put our own touch on the squad and see some bigger names come in, some money spent, and let's go and spend that Europa League money and see if we can get into the Champions League next season. That would be absolutely superb. But thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. As Trossard, by the way, won the Player of the Year for the Premier League, which makes sense. He was the highest goal scorer somehow. But yeah, we'll leave it on that screen there as West Ham, a great moment for the winners who lifted the FA Cup trophy and did very well in the Premier League. Thank you so much for watching. See you in Season 2. Cheers.